Heute ein Podcast aus der Wildnis, aus Thailand. Für diesen Podcast sind wir fast gestorben. Wir haben auf jeden Fall einen gefährlichen Weg auf uns genommen. Heute eine Premiere. Ich würde sagen, der erste offizielle englische Podcast mit Jerome Aaron, Primal Physics. I just told the German people, we have you, and it's going to be the first English podcast. Introduce yourself to the people that don't know you.
So my name is Jerome Aaron, and on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, it's Primal Physique. I pretty much live on an island and just trying to live as healthy life as possible and inspire everyone around me to be as healthy as possible, because it is something that is the most fulfilling if you really devote your life to health, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, financially. If you're as healthy as possible, then you make heaven on earth. If you can make heaven on earth, then the world will be a better place for everyone.
I NNG Podcast.
Just tell me, bro, like, how did you come up with Primal Physique? I mean, just being nature, barefooted. Were you born like this? Are you Tarzan? Or, like, what flipped in your mind for you to change your lifestyle so drastically?
Because before, man, I used to be a self-made entrepreneur in Toronto. And I had like 250 employees. But before that, I was started with nothing. And I had no choice, but to make my own businesses. And one of the businesses that I made back in Toronto was a brand of sex products called Primal Juice. I named it Primal Juice. But I also did a bunch of stuff. I had my own brand of baby products, office supplies. Eventually, when I had like the 250 employees in Toronto, I started feeling that all these products and services that we humans make, it's not leading to the increase in people's happiness and health. So we're just creating more options, more illusions with marketing. We're manipulating people's like fears and desires. So I kind of burnt out, and also realizing that I personally enjoy being somewhere warm in nature instead of being in winter in Toronto. So I decided to leave it all behind, and I moved here.
I went through it myself. So just for the people that are listening, what was your first major step that really got things rolling?
I realized that I just wanted to live my best life. And I think everybody wants the same thing. But I guess for me, I was so singularly focused on that. So I was able to kind of reverse engineer and really think deeply for myself. What does my ideal life look like? And it means that I have to be the healthiest. I have to be in an environment where it's natural for me to be my most healthy. Because when I'm at my most healthy, I'm also at my most productive, most creative. I'm able to make a positive impact to the people around me. So that's the number one thing, realizing that health is actually everything. All of us wants to be happy. All of us wants to maximize happiness. But most of us think that there is happy and then there's healthy. This is why for many people, there's many things that they do. They want to do these things for fun, but they know it's not good. But the more I've evolved, the more I've realized that it's actually the same exact thing. Happiness and health is the same exact thing. If you're walking in the right path, then there is no contradiction. Everything that makes you happy should also be making you healthy. And everything making you healthy should also be making you happy.
What made you happy when you had 250 employees?
It's just the ego, right? Like more points, more success, more employees, more revenue, more cash flow, more businesses. I realized that's not really happiness. That's just like in your mind.
How was your life, your partnership life, when it came to a partner?
Oh, I didn't really have like a stable partner at that time. Or maybe if I did, I wasn't the man who I am now. I was still kind of asleep in the system. The man that I was, how I showed up in relationships, is not the same person that I am now.
What makes you happy now?
What makes me happy now? When everything is flowing, kind of like nature, when the waterfall is flowing, everything is healthy. Really, man, I'm not saying this to be cheesy, but what makes me so happy is like everyday moments where I come home and like I'm preparing food for my family. I know that the food I'm preparing is like grass-fed beef, or if it's fish that I caught yesterday, the sauerkraut that I made last week, the fruit that I picked up on the way that I know is not genetically modified. Like just being in my house and seeing my fishes and I'm feeding them, and the plants that I'm taking care of, and then the sunrise rising and then shining through the window, and then just like very peaceful, no traffic, no advertisements from the mall. That's what makes me happy, man. And of course, sex, working out, sauna, ice bath, spending time in the waterfall, being able to write content in a very peaceful environment, inspired, creating content, making videos, communicating with my clients, these things, man, make me happy. And of course, spearfishing.
Spearfishing.
Spearfishing makes me really happy.
Yeah.
I almost forgot that one.
If you come from the real world, it sounds so like movie-ish. Like, you understand? Like spearfishing.
Man, but that's the funny thing. People think it's like a movie, but the most expensive thing is like booking a one-way flight. And once you're here, I mean, of course, you still need to make money, but what I'm trying to say is the cost of living here is cheaper than in Germany. It's cheaper than in Toronto. You're so much healthier here. And when you're healthier and your mind is relaxed, you're happier. If the lifestyle here costs 3 times less and you're 2 times healthier, only an idiot wouldn't do that. But I guess the main reasons why I think people can't make that move or doesn't want to make that move is because they are attached to family and friends. And I'm not saying that attachment is wrong or unhealthy, but that's the main reason. Because aside from that reason, only an idiot wouldn't move here, man.
Yeah, it's slavery. What I see right now is slavery. Everyone has a 9 to 5. Everyone has a job that does not satisfy them. You know, it's all about money, paying bills, and that has created a society of happy, unhappy people. Unsatisfied, full belly motherfuckers that can't find a way of just enjoying peaceful moments because their brain is so up on the phone all the time, appointments, school, children, job, parenting. We're not in our nature form, you know? Our nature form is just sitting on a rock sometimes for an hour or two and just hushing your thoughts. How many people sit down for 5 hours, put away the phone, and just recap?
But it's hard to blame people, man, because we really are all victims in today's society. Because they poison the food, they poison the water, you know, through the screens, they really...
I feel you, but here's the thing. What I see is that we are victims of the system with a victim mindset. You're not a victim. You're free. You're doing what you want to do. You're making your own money, same as me. I don't depend on the system. Of course, we're using the system, the YouTube, the social media, but I don't wait on nobody to make me happy. I make myself happy first. That's the most important thing. And that's what happened. They taught us what slavement is. Chains, whoops. These slaves were actually freer than we were. Think about all the thoughts we're making about war, about this, about that. And we know our food is poison. We know porn and the secret societies and Hollywood. We know these things. But do you know what we do? We choose comfort over discomfort. We choose a place that is a known, well-known hell instead of going into an unknown paradise. You know, we choose to be victims because we're so attached to the comfort.
That word comfort, man, that to me was actually the main thing that started my own, I don't know, you can call it personal brand. For a long time, my message was very simple, which is in life, you just have to reduce the unearned pleasures in your life. Because, you know, phone screens, pornography, junk food, fast food, shisha, alcohol, cigarettes, casual sex, Tinder, swiping, all these things give you pleasure instantly that's unearned. So the more unearned pleasures you have in your life, the more your life sucks. It's that simple. The more you'll feel stuck, the less energy you'll feel, the more of a victim you will feel, the less power you would feel, the less hope you would feel. So your job is just to reduce as much as possible the unearned pleasures in your life. And at the same time, you replace that with discomfort that is intentional. Working out, ice baths, journaling, meditating, brainstorming the next business, learning something, developing skills. When you replace the unearned pleasures with discomfort, then you really start to realize that you are the captain of your own ship. You are the driver in your car. You know, the sky's the limit. So many successful people that I looked up to and that we look up to, that everyone looks up to, they came from positions that are worse off than where we are or where we started. And they made it happen. One side of me, I do have empathy why people feel stuck, but at the same time, we all can change that situation, especially if you have internet and you're watching this video nowadays. You have a smartphone, there's no excuses.
It's the question, are you creating or are you consuming?
Yeah.
If what you're consuming is dragging you down, you need to let go. And a lot of people ask me, hey, coach, what can I do? Name me 5 things I can do to be a better person. And I'm like, stop doing things that you can prevent. It's not the things you do, it's the things you don't do. It's not eating that food. It's not watching that porn.
Yeah.
It's not having those dark thoughts. It's not going that dark path. It's not doing things you don't want to do. It's being loyal to yourself. And that's what people don't understand. I don't have to do 5 things. I don't have to take some super supplements and do all that crap. which is good. If you're at the level and you feel like your body needs certain supplements, go for it. But undo the things that put you in the position, because you are the creator of your own world. Like red pill, blue pill is every day. And people need to understand that we've met, 3 weeks ago. Look how God works. Now we're sitting up in the mountains doing a podcast, you know, and I followed you 3 years ago. I didn't approach you like, hey, I followed you 3 years ago. We just met like normal human beings. Like, what's up, my guy? Had a cool conversation. And next thing we know, we think similar, because it's a lonely journey. That's what people have to understand. The loneliness that you're going through is part of the game called happiness, because you have to unprogram all the things that you program. Once you start realizing that you're at a place where you cannot go back, you feel lonely and alone. And it's your system that is used to doing everything in a group, peer pressure. Now, you're the only one in your neighborhood, the only one in your family that does not want to eat the shit they want to eat, that does not want to be vaccinated, that wants to do his own thing, that wants to create, that doesn't want to consume. And it's a lonely path. I mean, I got to know you. You're a lonely guy. Yeah. People might see you have a lot of followers. It's not a big party. People are, hey, I want to hang out with that guy. And people wrote me, how is he? How is it? It's like, bro, it's just a guy like me and you. We love nature. We love eating good. We love being with the family. Yeah, it's considered boring nowadays. And we like working on ourselves, you know? So we like going to the gym.
Bro, purpose, man. Like most people, they just don't have a purpose. And it took me a really long time. And even this year, the last few months, just meeting you, man, it really like gave me a lot of clarity about what my purpose should be. You dropped so much wisdom, man. Just like in the less than 10 times we hung out. Even what you said earlier about God gives us red pills every day. That was so profound, man. There's so many phrases and sentences you've told me the last few weeks that really took root, and until now they're still bearing fruit, and I know they're gonna keep growing, because most people think that once a year or something there's an important decision. No, it's every day and every hour. Whatever direction you're in, you build momentum, so you're always either sliding down or spiraling up. So that was really beautiful, bro. The red pills every day.
It's what Jesus Christ meant, basically. He died for our sins. It's heaven or hell in you. You understand? So basically, every day you wake up, God forgives you for your sins. Taking the blue pill is a path of the devil. If you really look at the movies and the betweens, think about when Neo lost his eyes. He started really seeing, became so powerful. The message is, to me, stop seeing everything with your eyes. Start feeling things. You got to feel, man. Is that person right, good for you or not? Or are you just looking at his jewelry? Are you just looking at his net worth? Are you looking at, man, I've met people with the highest net worth. They're horrible people. Why would I put myself around them? For what? For money?
Man, you know, I'm not really into all this conspiracy stuff, but like the last few weeks, I've been like researching more along these lines, and I think so many of it is true, with the third eye, with the pineal gland, with the calcification of the pineal gland.
It's 100% true, bro.
Because, yeah, like what you said, man, most people, they just use their eyes to see. But really, man, when I dive into plant medicines, it's your third eye. You have to
think about how we met. What made you come approach me? Like the biggest guy in the gym, black tattooed. What made you just approach me and come to me, you know?
It's just vibe, man. It's just vibe. You know?
It's your third eye, bro.
Yeah.
You're not seeing with your eyes. You're not seeing the big guy with the tattoos that's doing weird-ass exercises. You're being led by your third eye. I met your lovely girl. I call it wife. What made you feel that she's the right one?
Yeah, bro, it's energy.
It's your third eye, bro. Because if you're just trusting on your eyes, you're going to follow everything, every coochie walking around, especially right here. You know? If you're just thinking about beautiful out of the two eyes, you're going to be lost in a world full of lust, because the devil, this is his playground at the end of the day. So he knows your weaknesses. He knows, hey, Jerome, he likes some girls. He likes them like this. So he's going to throw it your way. So once you stop looking with your two eyes and stop looking with the third eye and start realizing, man, there's more than just this world. There's a spiritual world, there's energy, and there's soulmates. So now you can appreciate that woman way more than just And that's what porn has done. It has created and overstimulated our brains to the point where we can't be happy what is in front of us. You're making love to a woman and you're thinking about 5 women.
That's a really good topic. So for people listening, right, and if they ask you, like, what are the things they can do to open their third eye?
Eat clean, bro. The first thing is eat clean and detox. Detox your liver, detox your gut. Bro, I fast last year for 13, 14 days. This year I've done 6 days. I'm going to do another 14-day run. We do the cleansing, our gut cleansing. We do our liver. It's a 9-day meal plan that we have. Like, we do all that stuff because think about it, it's 365 days. If I do my liver 21 days altogether, now 9, 18, it's 27 days that I spent eating a certain way. It's a vegetarian lifestyle for those 9 days to cleanse out my liver. Same thing with the gut. It's 4 days. And then fasting for 14 days. Add that up, bro. We're talking about 45 days from 365 days to give you life. Real life. And you know what life is. I'm not talking about sitting around and you had your 3 meals and you're tired. I'm talking about 10 days of fasting and you feel energy that you have never felt before. You feel the Holy Spirit. You feel like you're connected to God. You hear things. You see things. That's when the magic starts happening. Once you start cleansing your body and understand what is modern day dieting doing to our body, it's closing our spiritual gateway. And it starts with the food. That's why I asked you, what was the first thing you did? The first thing I did was really to get on this path was saying, I will never in my life eat refined sugar, seed oils, alcohol, gluten, weed that's from the industry. I use buckwheat if I want to use anything. We cut out all the ultra processed and processed foods out of our life. We've been on it for 4 years, 5 years. I started 2016 and now last 4 years I've been 100%. I've been on my Goggins, like consistency, straight consistent. And it changed my life. And it not only changed my life, it changed 100,000 people's lives that are watching, that are on the channel, that have been following the wave. And we call it God's food to make it easy because it's so simple. God created the nature. The nature creates for us beings, basically. And the nature is God. And think about it. We're human beings that we pray to God, right? But we will cut down the nature that represents God to build things that we don't really need.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't live with nature no more. And that's how you can see this world has become a devilish world. People come here to stay in big villas. You see that? You're on an island. You're driving in 7 Series. Are you serious, bro?
And this is why the elites in the government or the royal families or Hollywood, this is why the elites do up things because they're so lost. Because once you excel in that man-made devil's playground, you will do these up things to try to fill up the hole in your soul. But if you're walking the healthy, natural path, you're not even going to be tempted to do these fuckery that they're doing. It's like, it's not even tempting, man.
We have to understand that everything in the world can mislead you. The way the world is built up, even here, bro, I've heard about sex parties. I've heard about all the spiritual gatherings, and I stay away from things like that. After 9 p.m., you ain't gonna catch me outside. Because every time I've been out at 10 p.m., someone had to catch hands. Like, someone had to get it, I don't like violence, but I like to protect myself. So I've noticed that if things keep happening, you have to change your own ways. It's not them, it's me. It's my energy. So I stopped going outside at a certain time. So when I'm outside at a time right now, bro, and someone's pissing me off or something, I'm cool now, because I changed my ways. But it always starts in us. I've met a lot of people. We got Born #1 from Germany. We got a lot of people that are really living the healthy lifestyle, living in the woods and stuff like that. But you're the mutation of healthy.
Oh, man,
if I got to look at it like that, because I've watched you. I've seen you and your son, you and your family. You eat your own fish. Because no one around me asked me, what'd you put in that sauce? Everybody knows I would never even buy sugar. I would never use their things. The olive oil, I didn't even buy the olive oil the other day. And some people are like, man, you tripping. I feel good. If that's tripping, bro, like I'm 40 years old. Like my testosterone levels are high. Bro, I got a woman that's my dream. I couldn't even dream of a woman like that. and our healthy relationship of being a man and being a woman, what we don't do no more in nowadays.
Bro, yeah. Man, that's another topic,
That's
bro.
a
That's
topic
so
that we
juicy.
can open right now.
Man, but before we go there, this is the main thing also that I resonated with you the most, is the food. Because it's so rare to find people who pay attention to the food with such care. Food is so important, bro. Food becomes a part of your body.
Bro.
But most people, they make compromises. They make excuses. They think it's okay. It's not okay.
And they say, it's uncomfortable to ask the waiter if they could use olive oil.
And the olive oil is fake,
And
bro.
it's fake. So, bro, we started bringing our own grass-fed butter. We bring our own coconut oil.
To the restaurants?
Yes, bro. Like I said, uncomfortable as hell. We bring our own salt. They have that little salt where all the microplastics go in.
Yeah.
I'm like, that shit, you know? Like, I'm having a good steak, and I got to put microplastics on my...
No, man, but that's why I don't like to eat in restaurants. I usually, if I have to go, I'll eat before,
That's
or
why
I'll bring my own
That's
food.
why my wife made her own restaurant, but after a month, we realized it's not the way, bro. Bro, I think that's where we resonate the most is the food, because you won't find a lot of motherfuckers like me. You tasted that sauce, man. No sugar, just honey, raw milk yogurt.
Yeah, bro.
some
Everything's
honey,
made from scratch
some
in my house
mustard,
too. Yeah,
real garlic, chopped up.
man. The big thing too is like meeting you really invigorated my spirit, because it made me realize really that the truth is there's a war going on, and it's not just the war with like Iran and Israel or Ukraine and Russia. The war is for your health. For most of us, we're not in the battlefield. The war is with your health.
And your soul, bro.
Your
It's your
spiritual
soul.
health, your physical health, your mental, emotional health, social media, pornography, food, like all these things, they play a big role in your salvation. So many people are lost, and I've been lost, you've been lost, and now that we've seen the light and we're seeing more light, it is our duty to help others instead of diving deeper into perverted luxury and pleasures. And this is what I really liked about you, because it's very rare for people who are successful to not fall into the luxury trap. It's so rare. So
And
for
it's so
me, that
easy
was,
here.
remember when I first met you in your house? Like, I told you there are some things that you checked, and it's pertaining to luxury. It's pertaining to humility. Because most people, once they become successful, even if they started with nothing, they start to forget that half the world live on less than $10 a day. They forget that how many % of the population, they're starving, man.
Kids are dying right now, bro. As we are full from the lunch we've had today, kids are starving right now. And it's not because there's not enough food, not enough resources, not enough money. It's because of greedy motherfuckers that like to rape children. And we have not arrested one single person. That's the world, because the world is led by weak men.
This is the thing about the weak man. So what we're doing, first and foremost, our duty is to make sure we are the strongest and healthiest person. And then we're helping our family and friends and other people.
But isn't that misogynist?
Misogynist? I don't know, man. But what I mean is, if men are not healthy, they won't have the testosterone to resist evil. They won't have the testosterone.
But that's what I'm saying. Isn't that misogynist? Isn't that toxic masculinity that you're talking about?
Yeah, because we live in a world that is like feminine-centric, narrative that is toxic. Toxicity is the norm. So anything that is healthy would be deemed toxic by the mainstream narrative.
It's
right?
crazy, and that's what they're doing right now. They've teared down the masculine man. Men like you, men like me. And there's a lot of fake masculine men that promote sex. That's also something to be careful about. Like, I see a lot of men out there that don't have the values of real leaders. I'm talking about loyalty to a queen, loyalty to himself.
And purpose, bro, beyond self-indulgence and hedonism.
Exactly. So imagine driving in a Lamborghini right now. You can afford it. You know that there's so much work out there. Don't get me wrong. I want to drive a Lamborghini. That's something on my bucket list. But it's not something that I have to do now. It's not something, because the world is so f***ed up. I got projects in Gambia right now. We built the second of 50 schools. We got 48 more schools. There's no, hey, we built 2 schools, we're happy. There's 48 more schools. And then I know that we can change the whole system in Gambia for the next 10 years, because now we built 50 schools. In every school, we have 400 to 600 children. Add that up with the numbers that I said before. That's power right there. We're empowering children. We're giving them skills. We're showing them agriculturing skills. We're showing them real values, how to value men, women. Bro, these children can cook at 10. John is like my partner in the whole, we'll show some pictures and show you his account. This is real happiness. This is real joy. Oh, shit. I thought a wolf behind me. This is real joy. doing for others, making sure that the success that you have through God, through the hands of God, because if you're not selling your soul, it's all from God. When God gives you, you give. It's give and give, because God got your back. And that's like the mentality I had to learn. I didn't always used to be like that.
That's what I'm still learning now. And then you're inspiring me to learn that.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel that for a long time. I felt like I've got my own back.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, if everyone only got their own back, we're always going to look away. You feel me? But if we start, like, on Sundays doing that barbecue for the Burmese people here that don't have the food every Sunday with the caught fish that you get, now we're creating a momentum of light. You understand? By you giving, the next person that you gave will give. You're inspiring the next person to do good deeds. He will always remember. These children in school will always remember there's an Aaron and John that came here and spent all their money on their education, on the country's infrastructure, so they may not grow up in poverty as their parents. You know, as they may not grow up as beggars as they made African people. They turned us to beggars. They washed away our whole history, strong native history, Mansa Musa history, and gave us poverty in the most fruitful countries, you know? And that's why we're in Africa. These kids, I might not see it. Let's say 5% of the kids that we're working with turn into Warrior of Lights in 40 years. Bro, I'll be 80. It's about putting the seed in the ground and not knowing what fruit is going to come out, but knowing that what we're doing is good for mankind and feels good. Everyone has a feeling of, look, if there's a lady laying there right now, right, and she's sleeping, she's homeless, and she has like a couple baht, a few dollars in a little bucket. If you take that money, what is your feeling?
Elementally, you feel like shit because you know you shouldn't be doing that.
Exactly. But if you put money into it, without her seeing your face, without nobody knowing, without putting on his, what do you feel? That's true joy, bro.
Like a warm glow.
It's a warm glow.
Yeah.
You know nobody here. It's just you and God, and you doing God's deeds. You don't need applause. You don't need no tap on the back. You don't need no, hey, you're a good person, because you are a good person. You feel me? That's what good people do. Good people don't talk about it. They just be about it.
Or maybe I'm not a good person, but I think it's the striving that matters.
Bro, that's the
thing. They remove the striving because now they're trying to create a society without shame.
But let me explain this to you. Being a good person is giving your best and becoming a good person. There is no such thing as a good person. If we were good people, bro, we would not use the iPhone knowingly. I haven't bought an iPhone in 3 years, but still, I'm using it because I have to. And it sounds like an excuse, but the iPhone is funding dead children in Congo. And that's some true shit, because that's the raw material that our phones are made of. So morally seen, no one's a good person, but becoming it every day more and more, that is life. That's the goal. That's the path of God.
Man, I know it sounds a bit cheesy sometimes, like this whole like primal branding or like, oh, nature. But man, if we're gonna go deep, like there's one thing I want to discuss with you. And this is the main reason why I actually left my businesses in Toronto. It's because in cities, it's capitalism, right? And if you think about capitalism, what is capitalism all about? It's all about profit. And if you really think about it, what is profit, bro? Profit is just the difference between how much you give and how much you take. If you take more than you give, you make profit. If you take even more than you give, you make even more profit. So basically, the more you outtake, the more profit you make. And in capitalism, it strictly and only rewards the people who make the most profit. So if you really think about it, profit is pretty evil.
It's evil.
Do you get what I mean?
The system is built by people that are not following God's path. And we know it now, you know? So that's what we also have to understand. It can't be just looking out for yourself in 2026, especially if you have the voice. If the brave ones, there's a saying, right? The brave ones die young and early. The smart ones go crazy.
Yeah.
And the world remains a place with happy fools. It's time to be brave, bro. It's really time to be brave. And if we all get together, doing good for the next person next to you and doing good for the next person next to you might change the perspective of his life. If you're walking outside and you see a homeless man, right? Ask him how he's doing. It's not about money all the time. How are you, sir? You shake his dirty ass hand. How are you, sir? What's your name? You good? Can I do anything good for you? Bro, I've done that. I'm good, brother. I said, you don't need a doctor. I'm good. Bro, that just made my day. I haven't told nobody my name in 20 years. No one's asked. That's what people need, bro. We need more empathy, bro. We need more love. We need to be more caring for the people
But the real
next to us.
empathy, not this superficial, like...
Bro, social media has made everything fake, bro. There's no authenticity in people no more, bro. Because like I said, we're not doing anything for God. This right here is the devil. This right here, that's God. And that's what people have to understand. Like, if you're doing everything for this, and yeah, but I'm helping people. I know you're helping people, but you don't have to put everything on the internet. You have to start doing things for yourself and God. Like, it's called God's army, basically. You see yourself as a warrior of light, right? What you're doing is you're picking up points. You're not counting shit you're doing, but you're picking up points in your mind of good things that you can do without nobody knowing. Not even your wife, because that's the purest that it'll get. Like, imagine doing something really crazy and not being able to talk about it to nobody. Your ego will be hit and you'll be it'd be like, oh, I want to tell my wife I just did something great. And then you notice that ego, that's the devil inside of you, you know? So you got to work against that ego and collect good deeds in front of God, just you and God. Go do some charity for something that nobody knows about. Hey, baby, I'm gone for a week. You just collected $50K building a school. Nobody, no pictures, no nothing. I got projects like the Gambian school project. John started posting about it, and he was like, because I did it for a year without nobody knowing. He started posting about it because a lot of hate on my side. People were hating me. And he just wanted people to know who I really am. Those are projects that we do for the outside, so people are motivated to do good deeds. But what I do is that not even my sons know of. Not even my wife will know of, you know? And that's what I urge people to do in God's army is collect good deeds and no one will ever find out, bro.
I'm listening, man. Deep stuff. Because there's a lot of things you tell me, man, that it takes time before I understand what you're saying. Before it actually, like, grows root, you know?
Yeah. I'm like you. Sometimes, like, when we have conversations, let me give it back to you. You've inspired me a lot by the way you carry yourself, the way you think, the way you ask questions, everything, bro. When I talk to you sometimes, I also have enlightenments while I'm talking to you. It's not like I've known this shit for 5 years, but I'm growing with you. You feel me? And you showed me, like, how important it is to just really, like, be in nature all the time. Because sometimes with my shit, I forget, you know, I'll be here. I even tell my wife, I said, man, let's do the Saturdays in the jungle. That really inspired me. Last time you told me, you were like, you felt the energies and you were in the jungle with your wife. That shit was deep. I was just like, bro, I got it. Because this is what me and my wife do too. In Germany, we go to the woods. Sometimes we go 9 hours hiking. In Germany, we found like a waterfall and we would just swim naked. No person around. Just the most beautiful things these are some of my greatest memories I've ever had in my life. Was bonding with my wife. Bonding doesn't mean sexual things. I'm talking about sitting on a rock while my wife is sitting on another rock and we're just in nature smiling at each other. That's bonding. That's soul connection, you know? And that's something you can't pay for. It's nothing that you can buy. It's something that you earn yourself by becoming the person that attracts that person. That is the dream person. Because you attracted your dream person by being a dream yourself. By living a lifestyle that everyone dreams of. And that's how you attract people. Let's go into the feminism stuff, bro. Because I think that's a deep topic that we need to get on. Because what I see, especially here, is the feminized male.
Yeah.
A feminized male that has no control over his woman. Has no authority.
Not just in
over his woman.
Kopangan, but like in the whole world, right? Like most couples I see in the modern world, they're whipped by the women. The women are the one like leading at least 50% or maybe even more.
I've had situations where a woman is approaching me and almost got me and her guy to get in a fight. Bro, what's going on? Like my wife, bro, if we're in public, the last thing she's going to do is get an argument with another male and put me to prison.
Because she protects you, man.
She protects me. She don't want me to get in a fight. Why would we have that energy? My wife has no eyes for nothing. There's no situation. I've been with my wife for 5 years now, right? I've never, ever been in a fight in 5 years. Nothing. No brawl, no push, nothing. Before that, I was with a rapper. 3 years. I've lived that lifestyle, bro. I've fights every weekend, bro. I had to whoop some ass, you know, because she had a pass. And now you're being Captain Save-A-Ho for someone's pass. And that's what I'm saying. I was that type of person that attracted that type of person. Hurt people hurt people. That's how it works. You feel me? You get what you are. And once I clarified all that shit and my ex broke up with me, finally, I was free and I was set and I was ready. My mind was like, bro, that shit ain't never gonna happen to me again. And it never happened. I found the woman that is submissive, because it's hard in the Western world. They're raised by their mothers. It's hard for a woman, because in this society, and that's where I say it's not their fault. It's not the woman's fault, because they're real victims of men, weak men, and they had to become strong. So my mom had to be strong. My mom had to be strong. She was with 4 kids. A lot of women had to be strong. So what happened? It broke them. It took away their true feminine side and made them masculine and strong and unobedient.
And they can survive to a certain level, but they won't be able to thrive, and they won't be able to bond properly, and they won't be able to create a proper family.
It's not possible. It's not a healthy relationship. What is your sight on way things are going right now with male, female?
Man, this is something that I'm extremely passionate about, especially because the relationship with my son's mother ended. If I'm looking at the modern world, what I experience is something that almost everyone in the modern world experience. Women especially, they don't realize how harmful social media and mainstream norms are to their collective psychology. Because nowadays, all women are being brainwashed that you deserve better, you deserve better, you deserve better. And the problem is, a woman might be with Leonardo DiCaprio, but then she's on Instagram and she's seeing a guy who looks so spiritual and who is so musically talented. And now she's like thinking that, oh, I deserve a guy who is like this. The entitlement basically for women is sky high. Basically, if you line up 100 men and you line up 100 women, all the women will only think that 5 of them are worthy of them. So the 95 of the men are invisible. I think this is the main problem, bro, with like man-women dynamics in the world.
And that's why you're not finding your soulmate.
Yeah.
Women can't find their soulmate because all they're doing is looking with the eyes. That's what I told you. No one's looking with the third eye. And a woman that has multiple sexual partners and has multiple children by multiple men, you'll have an ill mind because now you have different DNA inside of you with your whole mind, bro.
Yeah, but it's not even about the kids, man, just the sex. So basically every time a woman has sex, they're losing the stickiness of their tape, and their ability to bond with a man is just like the stickiness of the tape. So every time they stick somewhere and they remove it, the next man, they're gonna be less sticky. So it sounds extremely misogynistic, but really for a woman, their body count means everything as far as relationship and bonding and intimacy is concerned.
And let me take one further, because no one really talks about this, but I think the body count of a man matters too.
Yeah.
If you want to find a real wife, optimal, you find your wife and go that way. But I say less than 3 women should a man have had before he finds his woman, because after 3, 4, 5 women, you're going to also create a pattern.
Yes, but I don't want to talk about something that you and me didn't follow, bro. Like, we've been with way more women than 5 women.
It harmed me.
I know, but for our case, for the man's case, again, this is going to sound extremely misogynistic, but for the man's case, a higher body count, we can still repair the damage. Whereas for women, I think it's almost impossible to repair the damage.
Now we're talking physical. I'm talking spiritual, bro.
Okay.
Because I'm talking about spiritual cleansing. Because look, man, what happens when you fornicate with a female?
You don't bond with them as much as they bond with you.
Exactly, but still, most women that loosely around, they're seeking heal. They want to heal. They want to heal from traumas and all that. And they see sex as a way of bonding with someone and connecting. And so what happens is you're absorbing energy from 1 female, 2 females, 3 females, 5, 8, 20, 35, 60. Spiritual energy that manifests inside you. Think about all the women you've had. You have a top 10, right? You have a top 10 in your head.
You mean off of the past?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. You have a top 10 without even knowing you had a top 10. That's energy, bro.
But I mean, whatever it is you're saying, when I reflect now, whenever I'm with a woman that's really healthy, my nervous system is also at peace.
Yes.
But when they have drama, It's like my life's a fucking drama.
Exactly. So that's energy. Now, think about how many fears have you developed from your past relationship. Just fears, energetic. So now with the new woman, you have spiritually like 30, 40 energies inside of you. Now you're projecting on your new woman. When she does something, you're like, all women do that. When she says something, you've heard it already 3 times from 3 out of 40. You understand? So now you are in the past with that woman and living your past self instead of having a new partnership, a new opening that leads to you bonding with her as a clean vessel. And that's what I went through with my wife. I had to cleanse myself spiritually from all the women I've had in the past because it had a mark on me, and certain things, certain behaviors that my wife was doing, I was like, man, bro, what you talking about? And now I'm talking to her like I talked to her because she left a mark on me. You feel what I'm saying?
Man, this is also part of the reason why I did Cambo again. See this 4
I see
spots
that.
here and 3 spots here is to really cleanse myself from the past relationship.
So important, bro, because let's say we have soil and you want to plant a marijuana plant, right? You're going to use new, fresh soil, right? But what if you use old soil from plantings of...
Bro, soil is not a good analogy because soil, usually if it's oiled soil, there might even be more nutrients. So don't use the soil.
No, I feel you. No, I feel you. But it's just like, if we're using soil, right? We have different plants. I'm not talking about the marijuana plant, but we have different plants. So that soil is getting used to that DNA of plant, basically. And you put in another plant what has nothing to do with that plant. It's not going to thrive as when you give it a new chance to grow. And that's what happens when you bring a new woman in your life that is worth it, and you put it in an old playground, basically, old soil, with all that leftover drama shit from the past, you know? That's what I've noticed. I'm just talking about myself and my wife. I brought so many traits I had and I said something, we got in arguments, and I'm arguing with my ex. I'm not arguing with her. She like, what is he into? Why are you tripping like that? Now, she's going, because I'm emotional unstable, because it's triggering me. And the thing is, if it's triggering me, it's inside of me. If your wife is saying something that's triggering you, it's probably triggering you because something in the past that you brought right into this situation. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of false masculinity out there. Because I think body count with men does matter. It does matter in a spiritual way. Because we're always talking about, I want my woman to be like this. But at the end, you attract what you are. You have to have the hygiene. Like, she smell you. And that's how the spirit works.
I like to think of myself a bit more pragmatic. And what I mean is, when I was in my 20s, if I'm saying that my body count is going to be 3 in my lifetime, I guess what I'm trying to say is most of the energy and time that the young man does is to get laid. So if exactly. So
imagine you had been on more shit. That's what I'm saying. I've seen him with a girl, and he was making $1,500 a month, and I seen him without a girl. He's making 12 to 15 racks a month, and he's the guy behind the camera. But that motherfucker hustling his ass off because his energy is not going into lust. His energy is going to I must succeed, and then I will find the woman that I can carry. But right now, I don't feel like I have the energy to entertain the woman of my life, because if you have the woman of your life, bro, 70%, 80% of your life changes. 90% for that woman. You cannot tell me anything else, bro. You don't see your friends as much. You don't care about certain people all of a sudden because you're in the woods with your wife, man, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Having a great Saturday. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I just want to prevent men.
I mean, you're right. I mean, I've met men like
There's
this.
no right and wrong.
Yeah, I've met men who can follow this path, and then all the power to them. More power to them. But I feel like for most men, I guess I also don't want to subscribe a path that I didn't take myself.
Call it semen retention. I say
semen.
every young man should be on some semen retention shit, bro.
100%.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yes.
Like, and the more women you get to know, the less energy you will have for your own business. These two men, bro, that's what they concentrate on. They can get women, you know. They're healthy men, you know. They're getting their little money. They can fly around the world. Women would love to be with men like that. But guess what? They don't want to be with women like that.
Bro, in today's world, man, like modern women.
We're not looking for women that have social medias. I don't want to find you on social media.
You know, when I met, that's one of the first things I asked her. Like, her Instagram, and she told me she doesn't have Instagram.
I didn't know my girl. Like some, my wife had a private social media with like 200,
Yeah, exactly.
100
Yeah,
followers.
she had 200 followers. Yeah.
That's it. And now she got rid of her social media because she noticed that being in social media is not doing her good. Because even if you have women that you follow, bro, they will give you their way. Her way is not your way, and that's what people don't understand. We always compare ourselves to certain people, and that's not true life, though, bro. I feel like we said a lot of things, and that's like an opening gateway. What I want to do with you is I want to have a series of podcasts, 3 to 4 podcasts, and just go through certain themes and have the people comment below what themes you want to go through. Especially, I know there's a lot of German people that know you. I seen it when I posted the stories. If you guys have specific questions for him and want to know certain things, because I know a lot of people want to know how you stay so lean, how you do this, how do you keep your testosterone level
But it's
high.
funny, we didn't even talk about these things, right?
We didn't talk.
Because that's not what's important.
It's not
But
important.
it is
right
part
now.
of it. It would
it's
help
part
you
of
in
it.
your journey, yes.
It's part of it, but there's so many more things right now that are important. That's what I'm saying. We have so many talks still, you know, and so many environments that we can do it in. I'm just happy that you showed us the place like where you hang out. I couldn't have imagined the way to get up here. I was like, this motherfucker. They had the cameras and shit, and it was near death experience basically. Really appreciate you, bro.